of the B Modified 36J at Lakeside Speedway.
And I'm Donnie Brown, the 26th Grand National at Lakeside Speedway. And we want to welcome you to a night at the track at Lakeside Speedway.
Anthony Witham in that 26 is going to start on the front row. Tom Fogarty in the T2. Steve Johnston and Marshall Jewett in the row number 2. Joe Smith, Justin Seifert, row number 3. Philip Holcomb, Bobby Tavis, row number 4. Brett Heater and Sean Foster, row number 5. Nate Barnes, your point leader. Blake Peeler in the number 40, row number 6. Vic Tranquino, he won that heat race earlier in the 21V. Jay Barnes also picked up a heat race win in the 19. They make up row number 7. Vernon Keever, John O'Neill Jr. in the 18J. Kevin Jones, Kerry Ayers. Kevin McGinnis, Phil Snodgrass. Bear Christie, Matt McCombs. And Corey Mulick round out your field. Race fans, Seaburg Muffler, Old Timers Night at the Races. You know what to do. Your driver's coming out of turn number 4. Stand up, give them a big wave, let them know you're here. They worked all week to put on a show. Your factory stocks. Anthony Witham leads them out of turn number 2. Throw a blanket over the rest of the field. Here comes Tom Fogarty. Anthony Witham, your leader. Fogarty, Marshall Jewett. Throw a blanket over them all. Here comes Bobby Tavis. Tavis in that OT. Boy, Sean Foster in that 55 on the bottom side of the racetrack. He moves into your top 4. Great race in action so far. Anthony Witham, your leader. So it's Witham, Fogarty, Marshall Jewett, Sean Foster, and give it 3 wide back there. That's Bobby Tavis taking over the 5th spot. Single file on the top side of the racetrack seems to be the quickest way around right now. Witham holding on. Tom Fogarty jumps that cushion. He's going to let Marshall Jewett up underneath, side by side as they come out of turn number 2. Sean Foster dives in, looks to take over that 3rd spot. Foster in that 55. Kevin Jones spun out over in turn number 3. He's going to keep it going. Give a call to the 21V. That's Vic Tranquino. Tranquino sneaking into that top 5. Leaf Spring Orange Camaro. Loves this heavy racetrack right now. Marshall Jewett looking for his 3rd feature win of the year, trying to get by your leader, Anthony Witham. Don't look now, but Jewett all over the back bumper, testing the welds on Anthony Witham. Unable to get by, track's just not wide enough as they enter into turn number 3. Nice smooth line. Witham working the middle of the racetrack. Marshall Jewett. Great battle back there with Vic Tranquino and Sean Foster as well. Bobby Tavis rounds out your top 5. Your point leader, Nate Barnes, in the 6th spot, but side by side for the lead. Marshall Jewett on the outside, new leader. Give it to the number 7. Witham slips up and drove it in too deep. Vic Tranquino started inside row number 7. He's now passing for the 2nd spot. Vic Tranquino, followed by Bobby Tavis in that OT, Ford's Automotive. And your pole sitter, Anthony Witham, in your top 5. Foster, he's been a runner-up the last 2 weeks, trying to go from bridesmaid to bride. And that 55 machine getting a little bit loose. Vic Tranquino really setting up the 55 right now. Tavis with a great run out of turn number 2.
Yellow, turn 4 low. We're yellow, he's turn 4.
Corey Mulick in the 49 machine turned around. So 9 laps down. As Corey Mulick gets going in that 49C, looks like possibly a left front flat. 9 laps down, so your top 5 right now: Marshall Jewett, Sean Foster, Vic Tranquino, who started inside row number 7, Bobby Tavis, and Anthony Witham, your pole sitter. Your top 5. Marshall Jewett. Tranquino's going to try to get to the top side of the racetrack. It's where he needs to go. Just gets clear of Sean Foster. See if that gives the 21V the spot that he needs to set up your leader as they come out of turn number 2. Great action all over the place. John O'Neill sticks it 3 wide with Brett Heater and Anthony Witham. Give John O'Neill your top 5. Vic Tranquino trying to wear out that back bumper. Maybe doesn't want to show his cards just early. There's a pass for the lead down the back straightaway. Tranquino finds the opening and takes it, trying to get back to that top. Marshall Jewett fights back side by side into turn 3. Still side by side, Jewett with the slight advantage. Tavis jumps the cushion back there, going to allow some of the cars to catch up, but your battle up front. Jewett on the top side. White flag next time by. Vic Tranquino trying to find the bottom of the racetrack. Maybe tried a little bit too early as Jewett opens up a 2-car link advantage as they head into 3. White flag this time by. Here we go, race fans. One more time around the half mile. Jewett works the middle of 1 and 2. Vic Tranquino exactly where he wants to be on the top of the racetrack. Pulls up a side as they head into turn number 3. One final time. Vic Tranquino going to dive low. Marshall Jewett to the top side. Yellow. Well, Marshall Jewett was about a corner and a half away from a feature win. Looks like Cliff Hedges, Nate Barnes, and Matt McCombs over in turn number 3. Jay Barnes, I apologize. Green, white, checkered. Marshall Jewett's going to lead him into turn 3. This ought to be interesting, race fans. Here we go. Out of turn 4. Jewett leads him into turn number 1. Foster takes over that second spot as he slides up. Here comes John O'Neill. Everybody clean down the back straightaway so far. John O'Neill Jr. looking to take over that 3rd spot. Throw a blanket over him. White flag this time by. Into turn number 1, Sean Foster in that 55, working out the back bumper of Marshall Jewett. Here comes Brett Heater on the top side. Up on your feet, race fans. Here we go. On the top side, here we go. 3 wide off of turn 4. It's going to be Marshall Jewett. Wow. Marshall Jewett, Sean Foster. How about that, race fans? Boy, he had to work for it tonight. Marshall Jewett's going to bring that number 7 machine. He's going to get out of the car, kiss his wife. We've seen it all year. The guy's no stranger to victory lane.
Or the second row out if you need to know.
Started second row out, but boy, everybody behind him sure did. And John O'Neill Jr., Vic Tranquino putting on a show. Window net's already down, American flag on the front. No sponsors on the side for Marshall Jewett. He's going to drive a Grand National here in a minute, too. Down in the McCarthy Auto Group victory lane. PictureMeRacing.com down there to give him a word. Race fans, what'd you think about that finish? Marshall Jewett in victory lane. I told you he's going to kiss his wife. Oh, he's going to go for Terry? No. See, look at that. That's a real man. Kisses his wife, then grabs the checkered flag.
Even though we're standing here by the pink Cadillac, we've got the winner of the street stocks, or factory stocks as they're called here at Lakeside, Marshall Jewett. Marshall, man, that was a fun race to watch and a lot of competition up front there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I owe all that to the 55 car with about a lap and a half to go. He hit me in the butt, gave me the momentum to get on up in front of him, so he helped me out.
Was that on the restart you're talking about?
No, it's on the back straightaway somewhere. It's after that last restart, but it helped me out.
It gave you just that little extra boost you needed.
I needed.
Anyway, just like I say, it looked like a fun race, but boy, great for the fans. What do you think about the track tonight? I mean, it looked like it was fairly heavy.
Yeah, it's fairly heavy. So it slicked off some, but it was still fairly heavy. You had a cushion you could run up against, and it was a motor track, and so it was good. I mean.
Well, as we'll kind of throw this in just as a bonus here, since you're driving both classes, we were talking about the pink Cadillac here, a little heating problem. I guess that was due to the track then.
Yeah, in the heat race, it was bogging down so much, it really got hot quick in the heat and everything, and we knew it was kind of a problem, but yeah. So, but kudos to Mars, he did good tonight, so Don did great. So.
Yeah. Okay, tell me this. How many street stock feature wins now is that for you?
I don't know.
At least 3?
Oh, this year you mean?
Yeah.
Oh. 2 street stock wins this year. That's the second. Okay, yeah. How many total? I don't know.
Yeah. How you setting in the points,
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, winner of the factory stock A main tonight, Marshall Jewett. Way to go, Marshall.
Okay, thanks.
Terry Brunner and Jake Richards, Aaron Morant and Nick Newton, your top 2 rows. Here we go. Terry Brunner on in the inside. Here comes Jake Richards. Jake Richards, your leader out of the back straightaway. Working the top side of the racetrack, Brunner. Yeah, I tell you what, your top 5 flying right now. Aaron Morant. In that 70 machine, settles into the 3rd spot. Nick Newton, Gene Claxton side by side. Great battle back there between the 11 and the 99 of Mike Higley and Brad Smith as well. Whoa. Contact from the 99 as they go 3 wide. But up front, slicing and dicing Nick Newton back to the 4th spot as Jake Richards is checking out on the field. Jake Richards, still your leader. Aaron Morant. Terry Brunner jumps the cushion in that Cheetah chassis. Nick Newton trying to sneak in, not able to make it happen. Great action up front. Newton jumps that cushion again. Chad Clancy trying to get a run. All the meanwhile, Jake Richards and Aaron Morant stretching out that lead, but here comes Chad Clancy on the bottom. What a fast racetrack right now. Side by side, Luke Neiman and Mike Higley as they head into turn number 3. Great battle back there. Brad Smith chasing them down. You got Brian Rigsby off the pace over there in the 12B. He heads into turn number 3. Oh, spin over in turn number 2. Terry Bruner, Nick Newton. Synchronized spinning over there in turn number 2. 12B to the infield. Lights out on the Speedway. Jake Richards from Edwardsville, Kansas, looking to get to victory lane for the first time here at Lakeside in 2013. He's got some company behind him. Here he goes.
Whoa, 87.
87 in the 3x3. Mike Higley inside Gene Claxton and Chad Clancy inside Aaron Morant. Battles up in your top 5, and here comes Brad Smith. Chad Clancy working the bottom as he slides into that second spot. Give Higley the 4th spot. Morant back to battle. Aaron Morant using the bottom side of the racetrack, not able to make it stick. Jake Richards is missing a heck of a race right now. Everybody to the top in your top 3. Higley and Gene Claxton to the bottom, and here comes Brad Smith. Side by side down the back straightaway between the 70 and 11. Jake Richards and Chad Clancy stretching out that lead. Brad Smith puts him 3 wide. Higley jumps the cushion, allows the 99 in. Littrell sitting on the back straightaway, unable to get that car fired up. Yellow on the Speedway. So the yellow on the Speedway for the 18 of Frank Littrell. 9 laps down. Out of turn number 4, Jake Richards going to lead him into turn number 1. Richards into turn number 1 on the top side. Aaron Miranda there as well. Brad Smith. Slide jobs, everybody 4 wide. Somebody's going to have to check up. Higley into the wall. Contact with Brad Smith. Looks like Stephen Goodman down there as well.
181, you need to go to hot lane. 11, you're going to the tail.
Tough break for Brad Smith, not the way he wanted to have his night go here at Lakeside Speedway. Caught up in a heat race altercation. And now sitting over there in turn number 4. Jake Richards leads him into turn 1. Here comes Aaron Morant. Gene Claxton to the bottom in the 42. Claxton into the 3rd spot. Richards still your leader down the back straightaway. Aaron Morant in 2nd. Chad Clancy and Gene Claxton with a great race as they head into turn 3. Joe Bringoni off the racetrack. Lets your leaders by. Richards still your leader out of turn 4. Aaron Morant jumps the cushion a little bit. Able to hold on to that 2nd spot. White flag next time by for Jake Richards of Edwardsville, Kansas. Great battle for that second spot. Claxton on the bottom. Has the nose on Aaron Moran. Aaron Moran has the momentum side by side. White flag this time by for your leader, Jake Richards. Richards down the back straightaway. 2-car link advantage. Using the top side, Gene Claxton's going to drive it in deep. It's not going to be enough. He's out of Edwardsville, Kansas, going to victory lane for the first time in 2013. Give it to Jake Richards. Oh, that's right. Second time, I apologize. I wasn't here. So Jake Richards out of Edwardsville, Kansas, finding victory lane for the second time in 2013 here at Lakeside Speedway. The 4J, the former factory stock champion here at Lakeside Speedway, also a mod competitor at times, Grand National as well, raced at I-70 Speedway. The man's been all over the racetracks. Now he finds himself in the McCarthy Auto Group victory lane. PictureMeRacing.com down there to catch the moment. Jake Richards out of Edwardsville, Kansas is your feature winner, race fans. Nice fresh haircut for the 4J. Finding himself in victory lane.
Got the winner of the B-Mod A-Main, Jake Richards, 2 this year. Jake, you got to be happy with this one because, man, a heavy track. I mean, a fast track tonight.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to start front row outside and just run around the cushion and let everybody else try to figure out what to do behind me. But it was racetrack was in our favor and our starting spot was in our favor.
Jumped out to a big lead, but I think had a yellow flag or two in there and things kind of closed up, but you managed to maintain that front spot. Man, there was some heavy hitting coming on there behind you between Higgs and Brad Smith.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I seen on the scoreboard, I seen they were back there and they were coming, but when the yellow come out and I seen Brad was one of them and they told Higley he had to go to the back, I actually kind of took a deep breath and I was like, oh, wow, all right, this may work out pretty good for me.
They may have a discussion about that later on, by the way. But anyway, I want to give you guys some credit. I want you to make sure and tell us, I know this is a homemade chassis here, and who's making the power?
Well, my dad builds the cars. Well, me and my dad build the car. McCarthy Chevrolet helped me out with the crate motor, and JT's Bar and Grill, and ProTech Roofing, guys like that. Without them, I wouldn't. Papa Bob's Barbecue. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do this.
I'm a little bit surprised, because I wouldn't have thought that crate motor would have run that well around the top. I didn't think they just really had that much get up and go. I thought maybe these other motors that the guys running, these B-Mods, would have had an advantage.
Well, ironically, we put together an open motor, and it was ready to go in the night I won, but we didn't put it in. And then that Sunday we put it in, come out here last week, and it stuck a lifter. So we fixed it. Went to Crane Valley and stuck a lifter again. So we went back to the crate motor and we keep winning with it. So I might have to talk my dad out of not putting it back together. It's reliable.
Yeah, it's reliable. I was going to say that's one of the things I hear about them is man, you can run a bunch of races on them and they just kind of take a beating and keep on ticking. But anyway, the winner for the B-Mods here tonight at Lakeside Speedway, Jake Richards. Way to go, Jake, man. Nice to see you back in the winner's circle.
Thank you.
15 laps for your Grand Nationals. At a turn number 4, here we go. Marshall Jewett looking to double up, but he's into that second spot. Whoa, Marshall gets a little bit loose. Here comes Don Marsden, number 9. Don Mars he's got a date or something tonight. Here we go. Trying to get to the front in a hurry. Don Mars, your new leader, slides up. Dennis Melvin having to check up there. Here comes Tim Shields in that 42T. Yellow on the Speedway. Dennis Melvin, your point. He's going to lead him into turn number 1. Oh, Austin Johnson. Austin Johnson cleaning off turn 1. He went into turn 1 and forgot to turn. Fast.
He's still going.
He just flat spot. I mean, he didn't. Smoke out of the 26 of Donnie. It's like possibly a tire. Dennis Melvin, still your leader. Don Mars using up every bit of that cushion over in turn 3. Austin Johnson made contact with the 23. Michael Morris with a right front flat.
You need to investigate it with Trevor. You got to give Trevor a call wherever he's at.
Dennis Melvin, the slow crawl into turn number 3. At a turn 4, here we go. Marshall Jewett working the bottom side. Dennis Melvin gets a great run off of turn 2. Here comes Don Mars. Mars in that red number 9. Gary Donaldson working the bottom of the racetrack in that 28D. Side by side with Marshall Jewett. Jewett working the top side. Great race for that 3rd spot. New leader Don Mars off of turn 4. Gary Donaldson trying to make something work on the bottom, but he slides back to that 4th spot. Gary Donaldson using the middle of the racetrack, still side by side, not really gaining any positions, but making it look cool. Marshall Jewett looking for that opportunity. Here he is, side by side for that 2nd spot. Give it to the 6. Marshall Jewett trying to double up on the night. Gary Donaldson in that 28D now making his move forward. All the meanwhile, Don Mars out front. 8 laps down. Marshall Jewett really fast right now, trying to run down your leader, Don Mars. Mars with a great run last week and decided to collect the turn 3 wall. He's got a little bit more of a cushion up there that's more to his liking. Mars still your leader. Great battle back there for that second spot. Gary Donaldson trying to make headway into that second position. And Don Mars coming up on some lap traffic here. Working lap 13. White flag this time by as he clears lap traffic. The number 9 at Don Mars with a full straightaway lead your race right now for the second spot. Marshall Jewett takes over the second spot on lap 14. Into turn 3, out of turn number 4, the Mars Tree Service number 9. Don Mars heading to victory lane. Jewett comes home second. Gary Donaldson comes home third. The 69 is Steve Dibben fourth. And Dennis Melvin rounds out your top 5. But the Mars Tree Service number 9. Lots of family heading to victory lane. A lot of kids up there on the front straightaway getting a nice view of the number 9 machine. Into the McCarthy Auto Group winner circle for your Grand Nationals. Lots of kids down there to see him. PitcherMeRacing.com down there to catch him as he climbs out of the race car. Race fans, give it up for your feature winner, Don Mars. Don Mars is either really excited or she's related to him, one of the two. Lots of hugs down there for Don Mars.
Got the winner of the Grand Nationals here tonight, Don Mars. Now, Don, I know I've heard you say when you're racing, you're a racer out here. You're not a track owner. So, man, you got to be happy with this tonight as a racer.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. This probably was one of my funnest races. Car was just awesome. Track was awesome. Mike did a great job watering and working the track this week, and it was fun.
Yeah. Now, you kind of had to battle for this because I think you were leading there for a while, and did Jewett get by you, if I remember right, and then you had to come back and pass him again?
Yeah. Luckily, there was real good cushion, and I just got up against that cushion. The car was great there, and it just took me to the front.
Yeah. I was going to say a fast track. I've been talking to the other drivers. A lot of speed tonight because it's a little bit heavier. Did the old gal work pretty good? I don't know who's building the motors for you, but how did the car handle?
Well, car handled very well. Motor were a little bit shaky there. This is an old motor. I blew a motor up earlier at I-35 Speedway about 4 weeks ago. This is a motor we've had sitting around for a long time. Jillions of laps on it, and we put it in here, and it's holding up. We got a brand new lightweight motor, good motor to go in this week. So I'm just patting it and saying,
one more time,
hang in there, sweetheart. And it has so far. So
one more time.
One more time. That's what we just asked for. One more.
Yeah. This is my final question to you. I have to ask you this now. As a racer and a track owner, part track owner, now do you get a check like everybody else?
Actually, I don't. The boy up there in the office, he picks it up actually, and then he normally gives it to me. So, yeah, I do. I mean,
that makes you a double winner then.
So that makes me a double winner. Of course, I put it back in the track, but you know.
Anyway, Don, all the kidding aside, man, a great run out there tonight. I mean, we can't take anything away from it. You did what you had to do. Run that high side, like I say, really fast. Make a pass back for the lead, and then I think he was actually pulling away there a little bit, so showing that the car and everything was working, and you were driving the car good, man. Way to go.
Well, it was really good. It would go in, and it would kind of break loose a little bit, and I'd saw the wheel, and it'd throw it back on the rear, and it kind of launched, and I just kept doing that, and the car, I could just feel the car. I thought I had pretty good lead, but of course you don't know, and my hearing's not good enough to know if there's somebody behind me, so I don't know where they're at until I see them up beside me. So it was good tonight.
Okay. Once again, the winner for the Grand Nationals, Don Mars. Way to go, Don.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate everything you do.
25 laps the distance. Justin Johnson, Chris Speaker, set your front row. Two by two, 11 rows deep. Out of turn number 4. Here we go. Chris Speaker jumps to the high side. Justin Johnson trying to get a run on the bottom. Give it to the 56 off turn 2. Here comes Darren Fuqua. Work in the middle of the racetrack. Lap number 1's going to go to the 56 of Speaker. Into the infield to 34. Of Aaron Moran into the infield. Speaker out to an early lead. Justin Johnson second. Darren Fuqua, Tim Carrick. And the 90 of Terry Schultz. Side by side into second for that second spot. Fuqua drives it in deep. Able to get that car to stick. Slides up under Justin Johnson. Johnson, the crossover move, not able to get it to stick. He's going to have to drive it in turn 3 deep. Side by side. Johnson on the bottom. Fuqua on the top. Tim Carrick looking in. Fuqua settles into that second spot. Tim Carrick battling for that third spot. Give it to the 1K. Carrick jumps the cushion. Johnson back up underneath. Fuqua running down your leader. Speaker still your leader, but the 87 out of Mayetta, Kansas is running him down. Lap traffic in just a couple laps here as we're 7 laps down. Fuqua, just a man on a mission, finished 4th in the USMTS feature last night at 81 Speedway. Looking to go to victory lane here tonight. The 87 right now all over the back bumper of the 56. Jerry Liston, the first one to go a lap down as they head into turn number 3. Side by side. Liston dives to the bottom. Fuqua uses the middle of the racetrack. New leader, the 87. Speaker trying to cross him over, not able to make it stick. The big time bail bonds. 87 to Darren Fuqua, your leader out of turn 4. Great battle, Justin Johnson, Terry Schultz. Schultz into that third spot. Leaders in lap traffic again. Donnie Burlington next one up. Fuquay going to go to the middle of the racetrack again. He's going to have to split him. As he does, Burlington checks up. Looks like Bittinger's not going to go 3 for 3 as he's into the infield in the 3B. Chris Speaker checking up. Having to drive in front of the lap car, Donnie Burlington. Having a little bit of trouble, but able to escape through. Fuquay, still your leader. Fuquay out of turn number 4. He started outside row number 2. Danny Charles, the next one to go a lap down as they head into turn number 3. Half a straightaway lead for Darren Fuquay. Able to get by Charles down the back straightaway. So it's Fuquay, Speaker, Schultz, Carrick, and Justin Johnson. '81 and Danny Charles exits into the infield. Kerry Davis trying to work the bottom of the racetrack to sneak into that top 5.
Down, leader in the middle.
Oh, your leader breaks. Darren Fuquay pulls into the infield. Chris Speaker, your new leader, 17 laps down. Working lap 18, Terry Schultz sits in that catbird seat in that second spot. Speaker loses the front end just a little bit. Great run for the 90 out of turn number 2. Into turn 3, side by side out of turn number 4. Speaker still your leader. Terry Schultz able to diamonds 1 and 2. Speaker trying to hold on. Drives it into turn number 3, Terry Schultz does. Side by side again out of turn 4. Up on that cushion is the 56. 5 laps to go. So it's Speaker, Schultz driving it in deep into turn number 3 once again. All the meanwhile, the 1K is closing in on your leaders. Terry Schultz once again just really driving it in deep into turn number 3. Gonna maybe try to use lap traffic as Jerry Liston. Liston working the top side exactly where everybody else is at. Let's see if Speaker can keep that car going on the bottom. Schultz able to pass the lap car in a perfect spot. Still not able to make it stick, but pulls alongside. Working the top side. White flag this time by for the 56 of Chris Speaker. Speaker drives it into turn 1. Terry Schultz on his back bumper. He's going to have to drive it in deep into turn number 3. Here comes the slide job from the number 90. There it is, drives it in deep. Can he make it? Stick side by side off of turn number 4. Give it to Chris Speaker. So Chris Speaker picks up the feature win. Terry Schultz, Tim Carrick, Kerry Davis, and Justin Johnson, your top 5.
Winner of the A main for the A mods here tonight at Lakeside Speedway, Chris Speaker. Chris, man, what a run. You got to be happy. I mean, you were kind of threatened there for a while.
Yeah, I had a good starting spot and led early, and then Darren Fuqua got around me, and he was probably going to actually win the race, and you know, he had some engine trouble. You don't, you know, ever want to see anybody have any bad luck, especially engine trouble, because that's he didn't really have engine trouble. He just got hot, and he decided to pull out before he did, and you know, that's the expensive part of racing, so you don't want to wish that on anybody. And then after he dropped out, we were able to hold off Terry Schultz and bring home the win.
Several people I've talked to tonight, the problem with heating up just seemed like the track was so tacky. Were you having any problems along that line? I mean, were you getting up there on the temperature or not?
Yeah, after the heat race, we were 220 on water and about 265, 270 on the oil, and then the feature. I never looked during the race. I was scared to. After we were done, we were about 240, 245 on water, and our oil was pegged all the way around, which you know, isn't a good thing. But we'll check the oil filter this week, and everything sounded all right, and it still run fine at the end of the week, or end of the race. So hopefully everything's good.
Now, I know you've been racing down here just almost from the beginning of the season. I was talking to some of your crew. I know you're coming down here, I think, for some USRA points, which the car's legal here, and it's not at home. Now, I know you're from Iowa. So what have been your impressions of Lakeside? I mean, have you run here before?
We ran here in the past a few times, never had any luck down here whatsoever. Matter of fact, several years ago, we were down here one night with both cars. I ran a late model as well up at Adams County Speedway in Iowa at the NASCAR track up there. And we were down here for the end of the year special with both cars, modified and a late model. And I wound up putting them both in the fence that night. So this year we've had pretty good runs most every night. We had some bad luck here a couple weeks ago. I actually had a right front tie rod break first lap, first corner, getting in turn 1 and stuffed the car in the fence there. Just bad luck, and so this kind of makes up for that, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes the old gal treats you kind of rough out there, and this track has been known to do that sometimes. But all I can say, man, glad to have you down here racing. Always glad to see some new faces. And, of course, there's plenty of competition here. So if you can win here, I think you can win just about anywhere. But
yeah, I enjoy racing down here. You know, racing with the guys down here. There's you got Kerry Davis, Tim Carrick, Terry Schultz, Nick Buttinger, and Darren, and there's a good group of cars down here. So if you can win down here, you're definitely accomplishing something, and we enjoy coming down here. I want to say thanks to Mike and the crew. We started off rough with track conditions this year, but they really got ironed out, and the track's been good and smooth and pretty racy. So hopefully they can keep it up and the weather cooperate with them, and I just want to thank them for that.
One more question. I always ask this of the winners. What kind of chassis and who's making the horses?
It's an IROC race car out of Corning. The guys that own the car, they build it up there. We kind of all work together on it, me and my brother, and the two and a half, three brothers, whatever you want to call the third one. All kind of work together.
Like a TV show, 2.5 brothers?
Yeah. They all work together on it and keep it going and stuff. And the engine power is a Driscoll engine. The guy that does it his name's Brett Wagner. He's been our engine builder since 1998. We followed him around the country, and currently he's working for Driscoll engines. And we just couldn't be happier with the power that they're making. And it survived tonight. 25 laps, hammer down. That's pretty hard on equipment.
Yeah. Okay, once again, the winner here for the A mods, A main at Lakeside Speedway, Chris Speaker from Iowa. Way to go, Chris.
Thank you.